Once I'm done tracing all of my pencil lines with Sharpie, I am ready for the fun step. For this step, you're gonna need the spray bottle and a cup of tissue paper squares. Before you use the spray bottle, you're gonna wanna move these tissue paper squares out of the way. If water gets into this cup, it's gonna ruin all of the colors inside. So we wanna keep that far away from the spray bottle. I've already tested the nozzle to make sure that it's spraying out a fine mist. If it's spraying out a straight line, that means I need to change the nozzle so that it doesn't spray out as much water. Once I've tested it, I'm gonna hold my paper about 6 inches away from my spray bottle, and I'm gonna spray all over my paper. Once I've got a good amount of water all over my paper, I can lay it down flat, and then with dry hands I can reach into the plastic cup and I can start laying the tissue paper onto my artwork. The trick here is that I want these colors to overlap. I don't want to have any white spaces. So if I have a little spot where a little bit of white paper is showing through, I'm going to cover that up with a piece of tissue paper. As I'm working, I'm noticing if there are parts that show up kind of dry, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and I'm going to spray that with a little bit of water so that it can lay down flat. With this project, the thing that usually ends up happening is that there's either too much water, and that means that all of the colors turn into like a black, gray, brown kind of shade, or there's not enough water, which means that once it dries and you take everything off, you only have a few little tiny dots of color and it's not maybe as bright as you were hoping it would be. It's good to work in sections. You want to lay down a section of tissue paper and then you want to spray a little bit on top to get it to stick. Once you have filled the whole paper with tissue paper, you need to check with your teacher, and if they say that there is too much water, if there is a puddle of water on your paper, then they're gonna have you get paper towels and you're gonna soak up all of that extra water by pressing down flat. Don't soak it up by rubbing it because that's gonna make all of your tissue paper get messed up. So just pat that paper towel down, soak up your puddle, and then you'll be able to lift up your artwork and bring it to a safe place to dry. This is gonna dry overnight, and then in the morning, your teacher will be able to brush off all of the tissue paper into the trash, and the color will be left on your artwork.